the
I don't know how they managed to
potential
keep this place
is
off the
limitless.
books. I was undercover for years. I should have seen something.
Seems Monica had plenty of things
That
to hide,
Iron Man game,
even
though.
from her own employees.
That's what I've been waiting for.
Scans show the power
I mean, once I got this game, I wasn't really waiting for it as much. You know what I mean? Like if they would have announced that Iron Man game before this, I would have, man, I would have went insane, dude. Because that's the game I wanted since I've been a fan of Iron Man. That's like I've wanted an Iron Man game. So this is insane. Then when they came out with that VR, I was like, Iron Man VR, I was like, damn, I wish it was an actual game, you know, but they did it. MODOK, wow. But yeah, it's insane, you know, because they have so many ideas. Like, they could do suit-ups like they had it in Lego Marvel, but make it way more intricate and detailed. Like, oh man, I'm so excited. We could have, just sprinkle these ideas here. So basically, I feel like you should start the game as Tony Stark. I don't know if they're gonna do like an origin story. Like, wasn't I just talking about this the other day? I feel like I was just talking about this the other day. An Iron Man game where you start as Iron Man, right? And they do like a comic origin. Will they do like an origin story like in the comics where he gets abducted, but it's like in a forest, right? And it's actually in China. Like what was it in China? Or, I forgot honestly, but yeah, and it wasn't really a cave. It was more like of a what's it called? What's the word? A facility. It was more like a facility than a cave. And they could do something like that, right? And change it up from the MCU and make like an actual comic accurate Iron Man. Man, they could go nuts with this, bro. I feel like I was talking about I'm getting deja vu because I feel like I was talking about this on one of my streams the other day. An Iron Man game where you start the game as Tony Stark, right? And as the game progresses, you build new suits and you get stronger, but you can still go back and put on those suits. And then yeah, it would show, instead of just like having you switch from suit to suit, you know how like in Spider-Man you just pick a skin and it switches it. No, this is Iron Man, you know what I mean? Like I feel like for an Iron Man game you have to put a lot of love into it and a lot of character detail, because like you actually have to know Iron Man. Like you can't make an Iron Man game like Spider-Man, right? You can't make a Iron Man game like take Spider-Man and just call it Iron Man. You know, switch the character, switch the model of Spider-Man to Iron Man. Instead of swinging, it's a flying mechanic. You know, bosses, right? I mean, yeah, short story, fine, that can be the same. Obviously not exactly the same because it's a different character and so on. Obviously, that has to be different too. But what I'm trying to say is, crap, I lost my train of thought. Damn it! I'm over here trying to focus on the game and talking. Anyway, what was I saying? That's bad. Let's beat this bitch. Oh yeah. So you can't take Spider-Man from Insomniac, right? And try to make an Iron Man game that's exactly like it. You can't do that. Because Iron Man is a much different character. Iron Man doesn't have any powers, first of all, right? And honestly, I feel like you couldn't make it like Arkham City either. You couldn't make an Iron Man game like Batman. You couldn't. Because Iron Man is Tony Stark. Tony Stark, like, Tony Stark is Iron Man. Like, Iron Man is not Tony Stark, right? So, like, you can't just have, like, in the Lego games, I always hated how Iron Man was the character, and then you could transform into Tony Stark. Not even, because in the first Lego Marvel it was Tony Stark and then Iron Man separately, which in my opinion doesn't make any sense. And yeah, I get it, it's a Lego game, but they had Hulk and Bruce Banner as one character. You know what I'm saying? So And even though, yeah, they are different, that's not the point. The point is, like, that works because Hulk, I mean, Bruce Banner transforms into Hulk. And without Bruce Banner, there is no Hulk, right? Anyway, so with Iron Man, I always felt like if you have Iron Man, you have to have Tony Stark first, and then have him transform into the suits. Or not, well, have an animation where he transforms or shoots up into the suit. Yeah, because without Tony, there's no Iron Man. So I feel that with this new game, they should introduce your game as Tony Stark, billionaire philanthropist. Even, you know, this would be insane, bro. You start the game with him in his car, right? Started with the cutscene layout, you know, credits. You see the sky, the landscape, the car driving on the highway. And then you zoom in, and you show Tony Stark and his car driving, and then it's you driving, right? It zooms in into the camera of you driving as Tony Stark, right, through Malibu, through California. I don't know if the game's going to be open world, but if it is, that would work. Even if it isn't, that could be an opening section of this. It could be a story-based game with missions, and that could be a part of it, right? Very much how, like, Guardians, those sections where you play as young Star-Lord, they're missions, but the rest of the game doesn't really look like that. So even though, you know, I get it, incorporating driving mechanic for just one mission wouldn't work. That's why I feel like, yeah, it'd probably work better if it was open world. But anyway, so yeah, you start the game off as Tony Stark, right, in the car driving. You get to drive, switch lanes, whatever, turn corners, and then the game gives you a destination where you go to an airport, conference, I don't know, something to set up. Yeah, because I'm not a writer yet, and I don't really know exactly how to, but I can give you points to write a good story. So something that sets up him getting captured. You know what I mean? Some way to get him over to China. I forgot how they did it in the comics, honestly. But I know the comic didn't start. It might have. I'm not sure. It might have started in that facility. I haven't read it in a long time. Last time I read that comic was probably like 7 years ago. 2015. Maybe before then. But yeah. So, something to set up that gets captured, right? Gameplay, or not gameplay, but cutscene to him getting captured, whatever happens there and all that. They tell him to build something. I don't think that's how it happened in the comics, though.
Is that?
Hold your ground.
It was something else. So I'm gonna have to look at that comic for sure. MODOK, yeah. Okay. Little side note. I'm not feeling the hero buffs as much as I thought I would. Hulk does feel stronger, but Thor.
Maybe he's forgiven her.
Anyway,
She brainwashed him again.
so yeah, so your first objective, first mission could be crafting
Either way,
the Mark
we
1.
still have to deal
Right.
with both of them.
Or
if we can find them again.
make it not
We
so
will.
straightforward. Make it
I'm sure of
to where you get another objective before that. Try to escape, right? Make it so he actually does try to escape like a normal human before just jumping to making a suit. Or maybe, like, yeah, exactly. He engineers and tries to engineer an escape. Then he gets caught, and then I don't know. I feel like they would take away his stuff if that was the case. But yeah, I don't know, something. But the whole idea of what I'm trying to say is, I feel like the game should have a crafting suits mechanic where you craft suits, right? You find parts, and there's some type of puzzle or something to put the parts together. And then you complete the suit. Maybe there's some type of waiting process. Maybe they can add some type of cooldown, not cooldown, but waiting element to some of the suits. And as I don't know, I feel like that wouldn't work. Man, I don't know, but crafting suits definitely needs to be in there. And yeah, and then once the suit's complete, you get to press a button on the controller, you know, facing the suit or whatever. The suit opens up, right? Well, obviously the Mark 1 wouldn't do that, but for the Mark 1 they could probably do like, you know, show a cutscene of him putting on all the parts, because that's different. Or if they end up doing an animation for that, because you can probably wear the suit afterwards, because my whole idea is that you should be able to wear every suit that you made throughout the story retroactively in other missions. Maybe they can help in other missions, maybe they'll be worse. Yeah. Damn, I could really pitch an Iron Man game really well. Not to toot my own horn, but yeah, so for the Mark 1, yeah, they could just do something simple where it's just like flaps that he opens up and then he steps inside, or I don't know, something. So yeah, once he escapes the cave or the facility, he goes in conferences and he decides to change his ways, right? Everything, because the MCU, the Iron Man in the MCU isn't really that far off from the comics. It's the origin is pretty similar. It's pretty similar. There's just some things that are not, like Pepper Potts wasn't there, so they probably won't have a Pepper Potts, but they probably will, because they want to get people from the MCU to play the game, probably. But I think they should stray away from the MCU and try to make it more comic accurate Iron Man. Like, even though, like I said, they are similar, I hope they do, like, honestly, I even want them to do the Tony Stark with just the mustache and the little goatee right here, the one from the comics, because Tony Stark never had that Balbo goatee, you know what I mean, the mustache with he never had that in the comics until Robert Downey Jr., so I think they should do something like that to kind of get closer to the comics. I think they did that, made him look like that in the Iron Man VR game, actually. I think. No. I don't think it was Iron Man VR. It's Midnight Suns. Yep, Midnight Suns is giving him that look from the comics. So that's awesome. I like that. Can't wait for Midnight Suns. I'm excited for that. I had some other ideas. Let me see. I wrote them down on Twitter earlier. Kinda. Let me see. Let me see something here. Okay. Give me a second. I'm sorry, guys. There you go. Okay, so suit ups, that was my first one on the list, because that's the thing I love most about Iron Man, even though, yeah, that's kind of a trivialist and very, trivialist, that's not a word, trivial thing, you know, it's really, superficial. I love it. Since I was a kid, I've loved suit ups, the way they work. Honestly, I kind of want to get into CGI just so I can learn how to make them. You know what I mean? Like, I just always loved, like, suit ups and, like, character transformations. Power Rangers, I loved when they morphed. All those animations or, you know, scenes of them transforming. I've always loved stuff like that, metamorphosis, and I don't know why. It's just always been a really cool thing to me. So I think each suit should have a different looking suit up, you know, like if they get to the Model Prime, I think it should be like a nanotech one that kind of just forms around his body, like the one in Infinity War. That'd be awesome. You just press a button and then you see the suit form around you, and then you could just fly off. Oh my gosh, that'd be so awesome. They did it in Fortnite, right? They did it in Fortnite, and it works. I think it works. Yeah, it'd probably take development time, you know, because those things take time, but I don't think it'd be that hard, and I don't think it would take that much time, especially if they do it early. And just like, I don't know, I'm not a game developer, so I have no idea actually what I'm talking about. But I would hope, that's not that difficult, because in Spider-Man they only have him putting on the mask like once or twice in the story, maybe more than that. But that's it. You never see him like actually put on the suit. It's very rare you see characters like transform in games. Even Star-Lord's helmet in Guardians of the Galaxy, it felt really like quick. You know what I mean? Like just something simple. Even in this game right here, Hulkbuster, the suit up for Hulkbuster is just like really basic. And honestly, I hope the Iron Man game isn't like that. I hope the suit ups are actually like really detailed and intricate, and you can see all the little parts moving and connecting and I don't know what that sound was, but yeah, suit ups, that's like the main thing I want to see, because that's just what I love most about Iron Man. Sorry. Besides his character, I love his character, you know what I mean? The whole redemption arc of billionaire asshole turned to reformed good guy. I don't know, person that cares about the people and what he stands for. Anyway, variety of suits with different capabilities. So yeah, I want to see different suits that you can put on. Like I said, I hope the game focuses on story and him progressing through the story, becoming Iron Man, but staying as Tony Stark at the core, throughout the whole thing. You just switch out of suits, jump in and out of suits. And honestly, this is a really big idea, which is my phone. Damn, no crack. Okay, good. Damn it, I didn't mean to do that. I just lost the tweet. So yeah, variety of suits. Hopefully there's a mission underwater, right? He could have a hydro suit. There could be a mission in a burning house. I don't know, a burning facility, and he needs to save a bunch of people. Fire suit, you know what I mean? Firefighter suit. I don't know, which could be a hydro suit too, honestly. Yeah. I don't know, stealth suit. The stealth, they definitely need to do the stealth suit. The original blue one with the red lights. Hell yeah, they need to do that. They still haven't released that in this game. I wonder why they're waiting so long. I don't know, but yeah, stealth suit, Hulkbuster. Hopefully that's in there too. But even though that really wouldn't make sense, they don't really need to do the Hulkbuster, especially if they plan to make more games and everything. Yeah, they don't need to do Hulkbuster for the first game. They can, honestly, if they do just like 5 suits, that'd be perfect for me. That you don't really need a lot of suits, as long as they all feel different, like, and they have their own capabilities and they have their own like mechanics that can work in other missions. I feel like that would really add replayability to the game, having different suits that you can try in different missions and see if you can do them faster or slower or more efficiently, using different techniques. But yeah, I think different suits should be, because Tony Stark, right? Iron Man isn't just people. I feel like people really underestimate Iron Man, because he is a lot like Batman, but he's not. Because Batman, he has a lot of suits, right? He does, but he doesn't really use a lot of suits like all the time. He usually has one suit that he uses, and that's it. But Iron Man is always switching from suit to suit. If you read Iron Man comics, he never uses he does use the same suit throughout, right? But while he uses that main suit, he always has that main suit, but he's always switching out of it so he can use other ones and do what he needs to do, right? He's very versatile. But yeah, he's very versatile, and I think that's something they need to convey in the game so that we can really get a sense of who Iron Man is. They can't just, honestly, even if they did like 1 suit, I think that would be a huge mistake. Even 2, I doubt it though. I doubt they'll bomb that hard and fuck up that bad. 3 suits might be, you know, bare minimum, but even then, that's like, damn, really, 3 suits? I feel like 5 or 6 would be the sweet spot, especially if they're all different. But I think you need more, at least 10, to make it like a fully, well, I mean, if it's a single player action adventure game and they want to make it like 30 hours, 40 hours, then yeah, 5 suits would be good, sufficient. But if they want to make it a game where you can constantly replay it, especially if it's open world with a lot of side stuff like Spider-Man, oh my god, they definitely need way more suits than 5 or even 3. 3 is not cutting it at all. But yeah, an Iron Man game is a really ambitious thing. And so I think, I don't know if they can pull it off. It is EA, and EA has made Marvel games before that have been awesome, right? Like they made Marvel Nemesis. They made that game. That game is amazing. And yeah, that's way different to what they're making right now with Iron Man. But I don't know. I think it could work. They made Jedi Fallen Order. The people that are making it, they're working on Dead Space remake. And what else was it that they made? Squadrons, which is a ship fighting game. So I don't know. I think they can get the flying right on point. Honestly, that's the least of my worries is like the fighting. Well, not the fighting. Fighting I am actually a little concerned about, because I feel like Iron Man should have I don't know. I feel like the way that they made him in this game is really well made, but they can make it a lot deeper in his own game. Way deeper. Make it to where you can specifically select things mid-flight, like flares. That'd be so, oh my gosh. You know how in this game you fly and then you double press circle so that you can use the flares? And while I love that, I do love that that technique, or that mechanic, that move. Imagine in an Iron Man game, it's going to be third person, but they can still probably have a heads-up display like the one that was in here. And yeah, you can just select it, flares, and then just shoot out. You know what I mean? They shoot, and without you having to dodge or anything, and make it way more like, what's the word? I don't even know what the word is, but not like this, you know what I mean? Not make it so you have to dodge to activate them, right? And make them, I don't know, they can do so much with Iron Man. Like, I love Iron Man in this game, right? But if you took him out and put this in his own game, it wouldn't work, just because it's just one suit. Well, 2 if you count Hulkbuster, right? But I don't think it would work, because the suit, first of all, I've said before, this suit is outdated. It's basically like the Mark 46 and before. Actually, it might be weaker than the Mark 46. They're less sophisticated, less advanced. I'm trying to think what the Mark 46 had. No, it had advanced lasers like this. Yeah, I would say the Mark 46, because this game started development around the time that Civil War and, well, after Civil War came out, so it makes sense that, you know what I mean? And then delays kind of fucked it up, because it was supposed to come out, well, actually, no, it was supposed to come out in 2020, right? No, 2019. It came out in 2020, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, for sure. It was supposed to come out in 2019, which is when Endgame came out. But even then, I feel like it would have still felt Iron Man would have still felt outdated, because 2018 was when, right? But that's what I'm saying. They were late to the game, because they started development on this game in 2017, and Infinity War came out in 2018 with the new suit, right? And then the Model Prime armor came out. When did that come out? Invincible Iron Man. I think it was 2017. I think so. I think the new Invincible Iron Man, where the Model Prime debuted. But they still had the Bleeding Edge. I don't know why they didn't go with that. Try to differ. I think it's because they wanted to make these characters resemble the MCU characters. So I think that's what it is. But yeah. Like, I feel like the game should have a suit that's like this. Like, oh yeah, that'd be awesome. If he has the Mark 1, right? He has the Mark 1, it has flamethrower. Did it have a flamethrower in the comics? I don't think it did, actually. I don't think it had any weapons in the comics. Yeah. It might have. I need to read that comic again. Amazing. What was it? Tales of Suspense number 35, I think it is. Let me see. I'm gonna look it up. Hold up. Where's my phone? Tales of Suspense. If it's not number 35, I think it is number 35. Tales of Suspense. No, is it 39? I think it is 39. Yep, 39. Yep, it is 39, not 35. But yeah, I'm gonna read this. I want to read it so I can get some more ideas. Yeah, Mark 1, right? Very basic suit, maybe no weapons, just melee attacks and very heavy, maybe not even any flight. They should definitely do a suitcase armor, right? Suitcase armor. Bro, I have so many ideas. You guys are about to go crazy when I tell you the ideas I have. I honestly hope they listen to this video or this stream, because I'm gonna post it on YouTube. I think I am. I'm gonna try. Let me pause this. Let me pause this so I can find this tweet. Okay. Oh, what's next? Okay. This is still variety of suits here. I'm still talking about that. Variety of suits. Suitcase armor. That should be awesome, right? Imagine the game is open world and you can just walk around with a suitcase, right? And something happens. I don't know. Even if they don't make it open world and it's just missions. Let's say you can start the mission as Tony Stark. Why can't you start the mission as Tony Stark? You know what I mean? Unless it's a mission where, of course, you fly somewhere and... Okay, I get it. But I think you should start the game as Tony Stark and be able to always go back to Tony Stark. Like, oh my god. Oh my... This would be so awesome, bro. They should make it so you can just step out of the suit at any time, right? And just have the suit be in sentry mode, just protecting you. Can you imagine that? Oh my god, bro. The possibilities for this game. Honestly, they could do that with this game. They really could if they wanted to. And take Iron Man to the next level. But that would be insanely hard. They'd have to put a lot of work into Iron Man to do that. Make it so where you can just press a button, step out of the suit, right? Boom. You're playing as Tony Stark. They don't have that skin. But the Tony Stark that you play as in the story when he's not wearing the suit, right? And then the suit's just fighting for you. That'd be crazy. But it wouldn't work because the skins in this game aren't different suits. They're just skins. So, I think the best that they could do is maybe a suit up where you can transform into Tony Stark. But when you suit up again, it's just the suit you're wearing. And they would probably have to make it a really basic suit up too, to work with all the different skins, unless they made suit ups that were specific to certain skins. But that would be tough. Anyway, back to Iron Man game. Another suit they could do? A car suit up. Car suit up. Have you guys ever seen that video? I forgot his name, by Anthony McGrath, I think it is. Go check him out on YouTube. I think it's Anthony McGrath. He does some amazing animations. I discovered him a long time ago. I was young and I used to just look up suit ups on YouTube for no reason, and I found his video. And he made an animation of... He actually got hired to work on Civil War. And that's what the Civil War suit was actually inspired by. He made an animation of Tony Stark pressing a button in his car. And then the suit just forms around him while he's in the driver's seat, man. And then he just ejects out of it. Well, no, he doesn't. The car crashes because he's like under attack. And he just... he falls out of the suit. Like, out of the car, I said out of the suit, out of the car, and he just rolls on the pavement, and then does his classic pose, and then you see the faceplate go down. Oh my god, bro. That was so I remember seeing that as a kid. I was like, oh my god, bro. Imagine seeing that in a movie, or better yet, imagine that in a game, bro, because it looked like a game. And they hired him to work on Civil War, I guess, and they were inspired by that, and they did that. Remember the helicopter suit up where he suit up in the Mark 46? They said that that was inspired by that, which is crazy because it actually kind of looks better in his animation. Well, not realistic wise, but it's longer because the suit up in the movie is extremely short. Literally like 4 or 5 seconds. He presses it, suits up, quick, and then he falls out of the helicopter. Yeah, I mean, I love it. I love the suit up, but you know, it's better the way he did it with the car. But yeah, that would be awesome. And it could just be the standard suit, right? It doesn't have to be a specific suit, but let's say you're driving. They add a driving mechanic, right? And just like the one at the beginning of the game that I was talking about, what they could have. That same car, at some point, could turn into a suit, right? It gets blown up, and he falls out, he does his pose, man. And I mean, they could, I don't know if they would have to ask permission from him to do that. Probably not, because I mean, it's just a homage. But I think they should do that. That'd be so cool. At some point in the story, he gets ambushed. So he's shooting up. And in the car, you just see, oh man. And then just make it a mechanic in the game where he ejects instead of the car blowing up. It just ejects him out of the top. And the car keeps driving. Bro, can you guys imagine that? That would be so awesome. Oh man. Iron Man. Yeah, I love Iron Man. That's my favorite superhero right there. My absolute favorite superhero right here. Iron Man. Yeah. And then, like I already said, Sentry remote controlled suits. Right? They obviously need to have the Model Prime in there. Honestly, I think the main suit is going to be a suit like the Model Prime because the one in the promotional image looks very similar to, what's it called? Looks very similar to the Model Prime. Has a diamond chest piece, even though the Model Prime isn't a diamond. Is it a diamond? No, it's not. It's more of a hexagon. Yeah, it's a hexagon. But maybe, you never know. Yeah, but they need the Model Prime for sure. Next topic, I am going to say destructible suits. Now this is a big one too. This is another one I want to see. This kind of goes hand in hand with suit ups. Destructible suits. It would be amazing if, right, Iron Man is not the character. Tony Stark is the character. Right, so I think when your HP depletes as Iron Man, you know how in this game you go down? It shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like that. I think when the HP depletes and the armor is at 0, you are forced to eject out of the suit. And the suit goes like, eject, and you're like forcefully ejected out of the suit. And then it blows up, right? So you don't die inside of it while it blows up. Kind of like in Titanfall, actually. Exactly like Titanfall. Oh my gosh. And honestly, maybe it doesn't force you out of the suit. Maybe they can make it so where you actually have to press eject before it blows up, so you don't die. Right? And then you just have to run around as Tony Stark until the next suit comes in. Oh my god, bro. This game could be amazing. Amazing, man. The game could be a work of art, man. But yeah, destructible suits. Have it so you can just run around as Iron Man, right? Say you can go back and wear the Mark 1. And when it gets destroyed, it just, all the pieces just fall off, right? And then for the more advanced suits, they could blow up. Honestly, the Mark 1 could blow up too if they make it a more advanced suit from the jump. Which they could do that. I have no complaints about that. Just make it so it doesn't really have weapons or is really bulky. But yeah, destructible suits, that'd be amazing, you know, when you get destroyed. And honestly, they can make it so let's say you get to like 25% health, and you say, oh shit, I should probably eject out of here and let the suit handle all the action. Ding ding, right? Opens up. He steps out. You take cover and let the suit take on the bad guys, right? Until you go to your phone. Maybe they could have a mechanic where he pulls out his phone, and it's not a regular phone, it's actually a phone that's connected to his Stark satellite, where he can be like, okay, I want this suit now. And then we just see it fall, kind of like Titanfall, right? Or maybe not. Maybe, well, that'd be cooler if it felt like Titanfall, and then you actually get to see the suit open up, or all the pieces like form up. Well, it could also depend on the suit. But I think it'd be easier if you just showed the suit flying in, and then a cool landing animation of like a robotic animation. Not like, you can tell when a human is inside a suit and they land, but when it's a robot or just an AI, it just lands flat. Just, I don't know what word to use for that. Lands like, you guys know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so yeah, then once the new suit gets there, let's say the other suit is still there getting shot at, whatever, you see the bullet holes in it, you can auto detonate it, or let's say you can make it walk forward, remote control it, right, from the outside. Maybe you can use it while the other suit is flying to you, while you're in cover. That way, if they destroy it, you're safe. So let's say you're using it and there's like 10 bad guys shooting at you, the suit's at 10%. You're in cover, you're remote controlling it using the app or whatever, like a Tesla car. You walk it up to the enemies and they're like, what's he doing? What's he doing? Is he even in there? They could have dialogue like that, like, what's he doing? Why is he getting so close? I don't know. And then you just press detonate, and it blows it up. Yeah, granted, it would make Tony Stark a murderer, but he kind of is in the comics and in the movies. So, and then Spider-Man is over here, basically almost killing people in the Spider-Man game. So, you know what? It's a video game. Who cares? Yeah. So, then the next suit gets here, flies in, press the button. Well, let's say you just walk up to it, right? Say you walk up to it. Let me start a mission here. Say you walk up to it, and you have to press X, or triangle, for it to open up, right? Suit opens up, and it doesn't actually put you in the suit until you physically actually walk into the suit, right? Or, I mean, depending on the suit, like if it's the suitcase armor, it'd be so cool if the suitcase just flew in and it had like jets on it. That'd be hilarious and awesome. I would love that. For the nanotech, I don't know how that would work, honestly. How would he call that, or even how it would work if it was destroyed. Honestly, they could make it so OP, where, to the point where, because they have to make it, if they're going to make it so where your suits get destroyed, how do you fix them, right? So let's say when they get destroyed, after the mission, let's say you actually completed it with one of your other suits, but your main suit got destroyed, you have to actually go back to your base, or wherever they decide they want to put the headquarters, the base of operations, and repair the suits, put them into like a machine or something. I don't know. They could do something easy like that, where you put the machine, put the suit in a machine, and it fixes it. It takes probably like 10 minutes or something. Do they do that in video games? Like where you got timers to certain stuff? I don't know, honestly. Because I know in mobile games they do that a lot. Obviously, the time gate stuff. But I don't know if that's acceptable. Is that acceptable? I don't know. Like, make it to where if a suit is destroyed, you have to actually take it back to the base and have it repaired. I don't know if that'd be too much work, but I think it'd be really immersive and really make it like Iron Man. And make it so you don't destroy your suits. Because, at least with the Model Prime, they could make it to where it actually self-heals. Like all the other suits, the weaker suits, they don't, right? But with the Bleeding Edge and this suit right here, it has it self heals, right? Whenever he gets hit, it just, you know what I mean? Got like a healing factor to it. Not healing factor, obviously, but it has self-healing capabilities, the suit. Because it's nanotech, right? So, yeah. They can make it so that suit is very OP, to where it always regenerates, but, I mean, it can be destroyed. Maybe the reserve, maybe it has like a reserve kind of health that regenerates slower than the main one. Oh, that'd be so cool. So let's say make the suit so it always can heal, right? But has 2 health bars. The main one is the main actual damage run, to where if that gets hurt, you see parts that can't regenerate, like in Infinity War, where he started getting messed up by Thanos and it wasn't regenerating anymore. You know how the helmet regenerated when he punched it off, and then it came off again, but it didn't regenerate. Something like that. Make it where it's just parts of his suit, wherever he got hit or something, that are you know, missing a piece of metal. Like, oh shit, what the hell? The suit is compromised, right? Maybe. But make it so like when that only happens if the first armor bar goes all the way down, right? I don't know if that would work like that. Yeah, I don't know if that would work. I don't know if that's a good idea. I'm trying to think, because if they did that, then it wouldn't really make sense, right? Because if, let's say that the main one regenerate, well, the first one, that's over the, you know, the main one. The one that's like the armor, like the blue shield in Fortnite, right? When that gets depleted and you have the main health for the suit and it gets hurt, how long does it take for it to regenerate? And when it does when the first armor regenerates, how come that piece wouldn't regenerate? Yeah, so that doesn't make any sense, because that armor is supposed to be able to regenerate, self-heal. Huh. It's such a tough scenario. Maybe they could give it just 1 health bar, right? And when it gets damaged, you see the parts, but then it self-heals. Yeah, and then make it so to where when it's completely depleted, you just see like part of his helmet or part of his like chest completely off, or part of his side, I don't know, something. And when it's destroyed for good, because it's so OP. You know, well, not for good, but like you have to go back to Stark headquarters and repair it. Yeah, that's a tough one, honestly, because the other suits, the way they can do that is a lot easier, because they don't regenerate. So more armor, I mean, the more damage they take, right, the health just depletes and you can't get it back anyway. And yeah, I can see how that can be frustrating too, but don't get shot. And they don't have to make it super weak to where you get shot once or twice and your whole health is gone. No, of course not. It's Iron Man. It's the invincible Iron Man. They need to emphasize that, because, like I said, you can't make a Spider-Man game and call it Iron Man. Like, in Spider-Man, you get hit 3 times and you're dead, right? They can't do that for an Iron Man game. They have to make him super tanky. Make it to where you feel like Iron Man, or you can get shot 1,000 times and not feel any, and only part of your health goes down. You know what I mean? But at the same time, they can't make it too easy. So they make it so you can't regenerate. They make it so you can't pick up health, like health orbs or anything like that, because that would make it a little tougher. It's like, yeah, you're Iron Man and you can take a lot of damage, but how much damage can you... It's kind of like GoldenEye. Exactly like GoldenEye. You know how like in GoldenEye, you can't pick up any armor, but you can take a lot of damage. You can at least take like 10 hits from the enemies before you die. And yeah, I get it. Games have changed a lot since then, But who cares? They can just add save points, checkpoints, so where if you die, you can just regenerate, whatever. You can just restart at the checkpoint and you have the suit back, whatever. But yeah, destructible suits. I think it would work really well. I think it needs to be there, because without it, you just have a character that is the suit, and that's not the case. Iron Man is not the suit, and then it would just be another Avengers with a different gameplay style. Literally, that's, you know what I mean. Just like every other game that's had Iron Man in it, it would be exactly the same. Because if you want to do something different, you have to make something unique and make something that's true to the character. I feel like if you just make an Iron Man game to call it Iron Man and just have a bunch of mechanics that are kind of like Iron Man, you know what I mean? It's not. It doesn't work. It's like a lot of past Spider-Man games that didn't have the heart in them, that were just trash, or even Batman games like Batman Dark Tomorrow. Yeah, you could do stuff that Batman did, but that game was absolute garbage. You can tell there was no heart put into that. It was just a cash grab, 100%. And I don't know how people call this game a cash grab when every character is unique. Every character feels like they're supposed to. So yeah, you can actually tell they put, like, people cared about these characters that made them. But yeah, destructible suits. What's next? Open world. So I think it would be cool. And I think it would be necessary if you have a story with a lot of suits. Like if you have a game, if they plan to make a lot of suits, I think an open world is vital, or not really vital. Yeah, no, if they want to make, honestly, I'm not saying that. What I'm trying to say is, if they make an open world, they have to have a lot of suits. Yeah, like if they have an open world, they have to have a lot of suits that differentiate the combat, or not the combat, but the gameplay enough to where you actually feel like you want to go around the world and do different things. Yeah, like an Iron Man game, I don't think he should have a skill tree. I don't think Iron Man should have a skill tree in an Iron Man game. I think he should have a costume tree, right? A suit tree, where he has several different suits that you can upgrade, right? And they have their own skill trees, kind of. Not really, sort of. Like, not skill trees, but ways to, modify the suits, right? And add different weaponry and things like that. But specific weaponry that's specific for that suit, right? Let's say you have a ice suit. Let's say he has an ice suit with ice missiles, but you can change them to something else. Ice missile, that's so basic. Damn. Freeze ray?
Don't look now.
That is really basic, actually. I don't know. There's a freeze ray in this game. Right here. Oh, and freeze missiles. That's hilarious. Damn, I kinda... Yeah, I don't know. Now I don't know. I already got a freeze ray in this game, so what can they do to make Iron Man different, bro? There's honestly, because it's been done. Honestly, I think the only thing that they could do, as far as suits, that would be different, really different, because everything that this suit can do is in most of the suits that Iron Man has used across the years. The only suit that's actually kind of different, it's a stealth suit, yeah, kinda, but even then, barely. The only difference is that it's a stealth suit, it turns invisible. And the Hulkbuster, you know, those are the only suits that are kinda different. That's like, oh. But every suit has repulsors, right? Every suit has rockets, every suit has lasers. But the only suit that's actually kind of different is the Model Prime. It has blades, it has like photon cannons, like giant cannons. I think you have like battering rams, you know, at least the Infinity War one has battering rams. So, like, Honestly, if they made the one game with just that suit, would kind of work. But even then, I just can't see an Iron Man game without you getting out of the suit, being able to jump in and out of suits, different suits. Yeah, that's how I see it. But yeah, open world. I don't know. It doesn't really need to be open world, but it would. I don't know if it would help, because honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of open world games. I think they're really lazy for the most part. Most open world games are pretty lazy. They're just open sandbox. Most games start off as open sandboxes. You know what I mean? So it's like, in my opinion, I think games with like missions where you go to different locations and you see different things are way more interesting to a game where you stay in the same area for the whole thing. Like Spider-Man is a really awesome game, but the open world kills it. Well, not kills it, because Spider-Man game without open world would be tough. I mean, not really. They did it with Shattered Dimensions and it worked, in my opinion. Worked. That's a perfect example. Shattered Dimensions had levels across all the multiverse, literally. Well, not all the multiverse, but literally the multiverse. And it worked. You know what I mean? Games like that I like better than a game like Spider-Man, where it's just New York. You stay in New York the whole entire game. And yeah, I get it. It's Spider-Man. Spider-Man stays in New York all the time. So that's what I'm saying. It works for Spider-Man. But for like a game like Shattered Dimensions, that wouldn't have worked, right? Like for Shattered Dimensions, it worked better that they had like a mission layout type of thing to it. But yeah, and even this game is an open world, and people were mad, and I'm like, an open world game wouldn't work for the Avengers because the Avengers are all over the place. They're all over the world. So if you have a game like Lego Marvel, right, where it's just New York, that would be so dumb to have an Avengers game where all you get to run around is New York as the Avengers. It doesn't even make sense, honestly. Well, I mean, it makes sense because it's the Avengers and that's where they reside. But I think it would be really monotonous. Like, just like seeing Thor in New York isn't that impressive. I'd rather see Thor in on top of a mountain fighting dragons. I don't know. But it's just like, I don't know. I just feel like this game wouldn't have worked if it was open world. It was just one place where you just run around one island as 6 heroes instead of, you know, going on to different locations across the world as several different heroes, like Wakanda, you know what I mean, New York, you got the snowy tundra, Utah, desert. So yeah, Scandinavian Highlands, you know, which is basically like the forest area, but a little bit different. But yeah, open world isn't necessary. For an Iron Man game where you drive, maybe it would be, you know what I mean? But if they didn't want to make it open world and they just had that one section for driving, that'd be fine. I don't know. Either way, regardless, like if it's open world or not, I don't really care. I'm good with either, honestly. I'm good with either. Next. What is next? Driving mechanic, already talked about that. Oh shit, this guy's flying at me. Yeah, I feel like they could do rockets a lot better too. Suit crafting, already talked about that. And that's all the points I had on here on this tweet, but I kind of already talked about like other things that I kind of already, I already went over the stuff that's a little bit more detailed. But I feel like there was a couple extra things, a couple more things I wanted to put out there for the devs to consider. trying to think. Trying to think, yeah. Yeah. So, what's next? Iron Man. Honestly, those are all my ideas. I think I said I had a lot. That's not really all that much, but I think they're good ideas. They're strong ideas for an Iron Man game. I think that the Iron Man game needs those things. Those are the things that need to be in the game for me. Like, because I could have other ideas that are really generic. You know what I mean? Things that are obviously, you know, like lasers, repulsors, whatever. But he needs to have all these things. You know what I mean? He needs to have multiple suits. He needs to be able to suit up in and out of them. The driving thing isn't that important, but it'd be cool. Especially being able to suit up in the car would be amazing. Yeah, man. I think that's about it. Honestly. I think that's about it. I'm trying to think of anything else that is vital, you know, vital to the success of the game. Skins, I don't know if skins would work. You know what I mean? I think they would have to be their own suits. They would have to be suits because, yeah, I don't think skins would work in a game like that. In a true Iron Man game, I don't think skins would work. Truly. Unless they make suits that are specifically very similar to other suits. Like, let's say they do that Model Prime. They could do a skin where it's the Infinity War suit, or even the Endgame suit, right? But they couldn't do a skin for this, right? Or even this, or this, you know, using the Model Prime. And then the same thing goes for the Mark 1. Like, you couldn't have a suit of this, or a skin of this, while you're wearing the Mark 1. It wouldn't make any sense. So, I wonder what the Mark 1's going to look like. Because I like how this one looks, but I don't know, this feels like it's a little bit too sophisticated. Like, he made this in a cave while he was captured? Nah, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. But then again, it does look more like the one from the comics than the one in the movie. Because the movie one, well, the helmet looks a lot like the one in the comics, but the suit itself doesn't. It's super bulky and it barely looks like a suit, you know what I mean? While this one does look more like the one in the comics. It's bulky, but it looks like a suit. Yeah. Kind of wish they had an actual classic though, like one that actually looks like the classic, because this doesn't look like the classic. It really does. It looks like a mix between the classic and the man with the iron mask and the Mark 1 in the movie, kind of, barely. So, yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you about that. Skins, yeah, I don't think skins would work very well in an Iron Man game. They would have to be suits, I think. When did I get this? What the fuck? I do not remember getting this. I wonder if the feet are have designs like the bottoms. Hope they're not flat like the Silver Centurion. I didn't even know I had this. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So reset is not tomorrow, but the day after. So I'll be able to get Jane to 170. Wait, did I already get her to 175? Yeah, I did. I did get Jane to 175. I need to get Spider-Man to 175 now. But the Red Room event lasts until next week, so that's kind of... Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be playing a lot of this